All good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, we are looking at the pre-market action this morning, and things are all looking a little bit brighter this morning when we look at the S&P 500 futures as well as the NASDAQ futures. They are trying to regain the initiative. On Friday, the S&P 500 fell about 1.1% roughly, and hey, Hot Dog, thanks for joining. Good morning, good evening, and welcome. So it's the biggest one-day drop in 3 weeks, while the Nasdaq Composite slid around 1.7% to about 20,195 as weaknesses in major AI-linked names led to decline. The Dow Jones Industrial Average also slipped 0.5% to around 48,458, pulling back modestly from its record. And the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index lost 1.5%, reflecting broad but technocentric risk aversion. In other words, people are moving away from tech stocks. For the week, that left the S&P 500 down about 0.6% and Nasdaq down 1.6%, while the Dow still managed a 1.1% gain. And as its lower AI exposure kind of cushioned the blow, and the money coming out of AI stocks, which went into other sectors, helped improve the outlook for Dow. This pattern fits a wider narrative that AI valuations are being re-rated after disappointments from names like Oracle and Broadcom, even as broader US growth and the recent Fed rate cut keep overall macro backdrop supportive for all the equities that we see being traded. And as the new week starts, US stock index futures are modestly positive, with S&P 500 futures up a little bit, as you can see here. Of course, you can't see the side panel that I have, so I'm just going to quickly look at the side panel and let you know that we are up 0.50% on S&P 500, and we are up 0.55% on NASDAQ. Both of them are showing some improvements. AI remains central to the story. As the new week starts, US stock index futures are, even though they are looking a little bit positive, it's signaling a tentative rebound from Friday's tech-led slide, in my opinion. The move comes as investors brace for a busy stretch of economic data and global central bank decisions that will help refine expectations for how far and how fast policy can change. Now, let me show you the data that we are expecting tomorrow. Non-farm payrolls, and we have retail sales month over month, and unemployment rate, and also less observed but equally important, average hourly earnings month over month, year over year, participation rate, retail sales. So all of these things are going to be very important for the market to gauge the health of the economy, and they can definitely change the market perceptions. So having said that, let's do a quick analysis. We were talking about a potential head and shoulder. It's still continuing to happen out here. We are above our resistance of 6,860.75. We have not confirmed this resistance. So let us see where we end up for the day. In the past, we have started much higher and then we came down and created a red candle. So are we going to have a red candle that will get supported by 6,812, or are we going to have a green candle that will go and test 6,919.25? That's the big question out here. If I look at market sentiment, I can see that it's deteriorating again. MACD is moving towards the signal to cross over to the bearish side, and momentum is just above average. So anything can happen out here, and the risk factor is that if this develops into a head and shoulder, and if we cross the neckline, the drop could be steep. Likewise, same story for NASDAQ. Our minor line of support out here at around 25,211 will work today as well as it did for the previous days, and it has already pushed up the NASDAQ futures for the morning. But as the day ends, we'll have to be we have to be wary that it doesn't turn out to be a red candle like the one we had on Friday. So I would be very careful at this stage. We are seeing a clear head and shoulder pattern. The only saving grace is that we are not anywhere near the neckline. So if we breach the neckline, that's when the real problem starts. So we have to be very careful. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is on top of the signal line, ready to become bearish. Momentum is just at average. We are up 0.55% in pre-market trades. That's the positive. So you can see it's a mixed bag out here. Dollar index, I did a video during the weekend on the yen unwind possibilities. If you have seen that, you'd be familiar with this chart. I'm just going to recalibrate the chart so that I can show all the arrows properly. So all indicators are bearish, and we have a double top target of around 98.15. And apart from that, what I'm looking at here is this being some kind of a bear flag. And then if we were to break down from there, we could come all the way down to 97.80. So we are creating a little bit of a bearish channel out here. And overall, the chart looks bearish to me. So if dollar goes down, then the yen, again, the USD JPY, that combination will show the results there. We'll check it out later. But next, let's look at VIX, which is up 3.12% in pre-market trades. The fact that VIX is up at this point of time is the thing that I would like to focus on, regardless of the fact that S&P 500 futures and NASDAQ futures are positive. The fact that VIX is negative, so VIX is going up, is a negative factor that I think we should keep in mind, along with the look at gold, which continues to improve. Now, what will happen with gold is that we could potentially start forming a double top, which is how we may change from a bullish scenario to a bearish scenario, because we had already hit the top out here and there's a line of resistance. We are approaching it. So for today, our resistance is 4,381.16. Of course, we have a target, bullish pennant target of around 4,653.615. But when we come to this line of resistance, we are likely to be pushed down. When we get pushed down, we have very strong support out here at 4,252.15. So we could bounce back up again. However, if we didn't bounce back up, then we start the beginnings of a double top. Double top is a bearish signal. So I would become very concerned about it. So I'll watch gold very carefully. I'm not selling any. I'm still holding on to the gold ETFs that I have. But we have to be careful about that. Market sentiment is turned bullish. MACD is bullish, moving away from the signal line. Momentum is pretty strong. RSI is elevated, but I think it could go all the way up to 87.11 on the RSI scale before it starts to consolidate or break down. Put call ratio is mildly neutral to bullish, neutral to mildly bullish. Let's look at the 10-year yield. US 10-year yield is still above this line of support. Let me convert this into a green line. This is also the neckline for the reverse head and shoulder, which gives us a target of 4.415. So if the US dollar yield goes up, if the US 10-year yield goes up, then that is more conducive to the yen unwind trade, and that's also conducive to the stock market going down. So we have to be careful about this. Let's continue watching what's happening out here. This is a bear flag. Let's look at another possible angle. This is a bear flag. We had 3 candles coming down and we are going up here. So one way to look at it is that we have broken the bear flag and we are going up, and then I can put a target out there. I'll take a conservative approach. I'll assume this to be a bullish pennant. And if I assume this to be a bullish pennant, then I think we'll have to see a few more candles, and the probability of breaking up is higher than the probability of breaking down. So these are all the other insights I can offer. But right now, I want to see that we convert this into a confirmed line of support, the neckline to be a confirmed line of support, and then we can start moving up. Now that said, let us look at the Japanese 10-year. Japanese 10-year yield has broken out of the bull flag, and if we were to put a target out here, of course, we need it to confirm, but I'll just clone this. And if I put a target out here, assuming the breakout is confirmed, then we are looking at 2.12 for the 10-year yield for Japan. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it did happen, you have yen unwind potential at full swing. USD Japanese yen, as I said, the pattern was faltering. We had a bull flag pattern and we broke out on the upside, but then we abruptly turned down. You can see market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is dropping below average. So friends, one has to be careful regardless of the fact that this morning we are seeing S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures being positive. So I'm thinking that when the market opens, things are going to go pear-shaped. And that said, I think I would like to go and have a look at our indicators. Where are our indicators? There they go. Okay, S&P 500 is going to have a support at somewhere around 6,799.41, and S&P 500 should have a resistance at 6890.88. Right now we are down 1.07% at 6827.42 as we closed on Friday. But as you saw in the futures, we are positive. So I think we might probably get a positive open. We'll find out when we look at QQQ. But the fact remains that the head and shoulder pattern is there on the NASDAQ. And we have a support out here, which happens to be at 25,198.61. Right now we are at 25,196.73, meaning that we have broken down below this as we closed on Friday. I'm leaving this green at this point of time. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm going to leave this green. But for today, I would say our support is likely to be somewhere around 25,044.26. Oh, sorry, this is not a support line. So our support for today, I'm going to say, is going to be around 24,150.43. That's our support. I'm going to move this out here so that I don't make the same mistake tomorrow. So this is the neckline. So the neckline is going to be our support. If I'm pressed for one more level of support, now that I've moved it out, I think that the next support could be at 25,020. So 25,020 is the next support for NASDAQ. Let's go to QQQ and see what the market action is saying. QQQ is up 0.56% in pre-market trade, which means that it has bounced off the line of support of 613.15. 613.15 will play the role of a support today. And our resistance is going to come from 624.05. And we continue to have a head and shoulder pattern out here. And head and shoulder patterns are bearish. So we are on the head and shoulder watch. And if we breach the neckline, we could potentially look at 543.78. Now, that said, let's go on and have a look at AI. In case of AI, NVDA is up 1.13%. So support is 174 and resistance is now going to be at around 180. Pre-market, we are at 177.02. Market sentiment continues to deteriorate. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is also below average. And we have a head and shoulder pattern. So I think the probability of us going down is higher than the probability of us going up for NVIDIA. Meta is up 0.10% in pre-market trade. This is a huge tail for this candle. So this candle is very bearish today. There was an attempt to push it up all the way to 710, but it came back down again. It's going to get some strong resistance from 651.04, and it's going to get really good support at 637.56. Now let's look at Google, which is up 0.60% in pre-market trades, and it has not yet broken on the top of the bull flag. The bull flag right now shows a resistance of 315.54. We are at 312.39. So let me convert this into a resistance. Oh, it's a parallel channel. Okay, I'll leave that. So that, and on the bottom, we are going to get a support of around 304.75. Next, we have Amazon. Amazon is up 0.53% in pre-market trades, and we got a support out here. The line of support is going to be today at around 223.24. A little bit of positive on Amazon today, but I would like to watch what happens because market sentiment is still bearish. MACD is bearish. Momentum is also below average. So I think it's a fake out for Amazon. We'll find out when the day ends. Apple is up 0.14%. It's going to continue to get support out here today at around 274.66. Next, let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.06% in pre-market trades. It will definitely get a lot of support at around 477.69. Right now, we are at 478.22. The next level of support after that is going to be 673.69. That's the next support. So this is the range for Microsoft. Tesla, of course, is looking bullish this morning, 1.39% gain, and we have resistance at 471.85. The MACD is improved, momentum is improved, and we have plenty of room on the RSI. So Tesla could go up further. The driving factor, I think, is AI and robotics and not EV. But yeah, the Tesla magic continues. Oracle is down 0.72%. I think Oracle has been down more than 12% overall. And we continue to have a resistance at 196.39. Let me convert that into red. And then we go on to look at a support of around 139.12. Next is AMD. AMD is up 1.05%. And 1.01%, and we will have resistance at around 219.66. We'll have support at around I would say 205.26. That's the range in which AMD is going to move. I'm on the cup and handle watch. This reverse cup and handle could have a strong potential to push the stock down. And friends, I keep on pointing out to the fact that the price to earnings ratio is 109.43. If you look at NVDA and look at NVIDIA's price to earnings, it's 44.81. And if you look at who else do we have? AMD. That's where we were. Come on, yeah. So if you come back and look at AMD, it's definitely looking like it's a very high price to earnings ratio. Like Broadcom fell. Broadcom is what I was looking for. Broadcom also had a very high price to earnings ratio, and it fell significantly, and the price to earnings is now at 85.40, which is less than AMD. So I think AMD has got to be very careful. AMD could fall further, and then we have SMCI, which is up 1.92%, and I think we already have a very bearish flag out here, bearish chart. So I don't want to go through it again. Let's look at Broadcom. Broadcom is down significantly, and it's been down 11.43% yesterday on Friday. So this morning we are getting a dead cat bounce of around 0.68%. I would like to believe that the support, which is at around 362.36, is going to perform the role of a support going forward. If that is the case, our dead cat bounce will have legs, and our resistance will end up being 386.70. Otherwise, if we fell down below this, then I think we'll get support somewhere around 323.80. Next, let's look at Palantir, which is up 0.18% in pre-market trades, unable to break through above resistance of 189.74. But we are formed a bull flag out here. The chances of us breaking out is much higher than breaking down. But anything can happen in the market. SMH. When we look at SMH, we can see that it's up 1.12% in pre-market trades, and it had fallen below two levels of support in the previous trading day on Friday, so I'm going to mark them both as resistances. So we have both of these resistances, and the first resistance that you're going to have is going to be at around 359.33. That's going to be the first resistance that we're going to get, and the support is likely to come in at around 343.82. Next, let's look at Tempus AI, which is up 1.12%. It's going to get strong resistance at 359.75. Right now it's at 358.10. So with that, I would like to go and look at the genomics. So let's come on here. Genomics, where are you? That's currencies, genomics. I'll have to open genomics separately. Okay, Prime is up 0.73% in pre-market trades, support at 4.51. Resistance at 4.51, support at 3.88. That's the reading. Intelia is up 0.89% in pre-market trades, I'm a bit enthusiastic about Intelia, but I think at this point of time, I need more data to get enthusiastic. The MACD is, I think it's bullish, but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average. And also, as it is the case with these companies, when the momentum is below average, market sentiment is also quite low. Now, let's look at Caribou Biosciences, which is up 0.56%. I have Caribou Biosciences, it is loss making. I wish that it had made some profit, but no, it's making loss and it's got a resistance at 1.85 today. I'm going to convert this support into a resistance. And then we are looking at Beam Therapeutics. Beam Therapeutics is up 1.64% in pre-market trades. The cup and handle pattern is still active and alive. So we'll let us see what happens out there. Next, we are going to look at Altimmune. Altimmune is up 0.19%. I was a bit disappointed when it broke down below this diagonal line of support. But if that is the way the chart is going to be, so be it. Now we need to find a suitable for yeah, this is okay. The 3 or 4 red candles, they're all the bearish signals, three red close. So it's not looking that great out here for Altimmune, but I'm going to watch this for a few more days. I have still not been able to take profit on this. The holding that I have seems to be still negative. I checked it after our session yesterday. Market sentiment is also starting to wane. So I think the window of taking profit is gone. I missed that window. I was never profitable even at that level. And the long tail is also a very bad sign. We have Editas up at 0.40%, and this seems to be some kind of consolidation out here. I won't write it off yet. We still have a target of 2.84 pre-market. It's up 0.40%, and we have a support at 2.37. This is a very good strong support. And then Illumina, of course, is up 0.80%. We have drawn a target for Illumina at 152.23, and I believe it's marching towards that. So we had a bull flag breakout, and we are I think creating another bull flag, and we'll have a breakout and so on and so forth. All the indicators are positive, so I'm not much worried about that. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.72%. I did a technical analysis on CRISPR during the weekend. You could like to check it out if you haven't done that. We have a bull flag consolidation out here, and the support happens to be at 56.45. And we have a target for the reverse head and shoulder, which is supposed to be at 60.36. And let us see if we can manage to touch that level. Next, oh no, it's not for the. Oh, anyway, that's okay. We still have that target. Let's go on to Allogene. Allogene is up 4.64%. It's also marching towards a target of 1.66, and I hope that it manages to reach that in the next couple of days. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. All systems go. Grail is up 1.3%. It has got support, very strong support today, somewhere around 90.51. And next, let's look at PACB, which is up 1.42% in pre-market trades. It's just consolidating. It's not doing anything much. We had drawn a bullish pennant, so I'm going to change my outlook out here. I'm removing this bullish pennant. I'm removing all these extra lines. We already had a line of support from here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw another line from here to here. So this is the new bull flag, and we continue to make lows, and hopefully today we kind of rebound. It's again wishful thinking. There is no major indication that it's likely to happen, except this 1.42% gain that we are seeing in the pre-market session. ARCG is up 0.76% in pre-market trade. I'm still thinking about the cup and handle pattern. I think it is still viable. We have a resistance at around 31.14. So I would say Godspeed out here. Vertex is up 1.37%, looking very healthy out here on the bull channel. So overall, it's all looking pretty good for Vertex. Ginkgo Bioworks, I still am looking at the bull target, and the bull target happens to be around, I would say, 11.28, and pre-market we are up 0.75%. So I think this looks good. support continues to be at around 9.33. And then I would like to look at precision. Precision is managing to stay just above the resistance out here of 3.65, which now becomes a support for today. It's a support for today. And then we look at Eli Lilly, which is on a regression channel top, and it's continuing to move upwards. So this we can consider as a bull flag. And then this is the flag. This was the flagpole, and this is the flag. And then we are, sorry, this is a bear flag. And then we probably might come down. So let me draw the flag out here so that my mind is clearer. So we have this bear flag out here, and we are making, that's the flagpole, and this is the flag that we are creating. Let the bottom be green, and for this the probability of breaking down is much higher than the probability of breaking on the upside. So if we did break down, so wherever we break down from, we put this line out there and it will be the target. Okay, so that's what I would say out here for Eli Lilly. And then Ultragenics is up 0.22% in pre-market trades. A whole lot of weird consolidation out here. I don't know what the stock is going to do, but everything is looking bullish at this point of time in terms of indicators, but chart is not giving an indication where it's going to go. So that takes care of genomics. And then of course for Bitcoins and crypto, I'm releasing a Bitcoin video. You'll find that very soon in your inbox. Let me go to our currencies. And in currencies, I'm going to go to Bitcoin. I just did a Bitcoin video. Please check out that video. I'll keep this very brief. Bear flag, and this bear flag has to break down. So that's the briefest that I can say. Check out my Bitcoin video. It should be released shortly. I've just finished recording it, and maybe somewhere around 11 o'clock you'll get to see it. Ethereum is also forming a, I think the bear flag for Ethereum might have been destroyed because we have gone more than halfway of the flagpole. So I would say that Ethereum is creating some kind of a bull flag out here, but its bull flag are all, I think, taken up by a cycle of around 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I think around 4 days it goes down, and then it goes up for another 4 days. So I would think that today we might see us breaking above the resistance of 3,148.79 and starting some kind of upward movement, and ultimately test the resistance at 3,377.50. That's a good possibility out there. Market sentiment is bullish, MACD bullish, momentum also above average. Ripple is, there's a lot of news about XRP, about banking license and stuff like that, but I don't see it moving any needle on the XRP itself in the chart. So I'm going to watch XRP carefully. Am I going to dollar cost average? Yes, possibly. When we come closer to the bottom of this parallel channel, I'll definitely dollar cost average a little more. So with that said, I think I'd like to end this video here, and I'll catch up with you again in the next one.